What the fuck's happened there?
Off with your photos.
Well, g'day and welcome to another Mongrel Dog production. I'm just on my way to meet two, possibly three other riders for coffee and a bit of a chat. We leave in a couple of weeks' time for a 2-week, 6,000 kilometre journey through Australia's Outback. This is going to be good. Grab your gear. Let's go. This should be a classic Outback adventure ride. 6,000 kilometres, 2 weeks. Myself and two, possibly three others. And what I mean by classic, it's going to have all the elements. There's obviously going to be an element of danger and risk. I get that. A couple of us have done a lot of the roads and tracks before, but not all. So there'll be some new territory to explore. And I don't want to sound like a tosser or a wanker. Most of it'll be routine, and I know that sounds a little bit big-headed, but myself and certainly one other are well travelled in the outback of Australia, and although there will still be some risks, most of it should be just another day at the office or just another walk in the park. We'll see. We're going to leave Perth, head in a clockwise direction, go to Wiluna, from there head towards Marble Bar, Skull Springs Road, Carolwine Gorge, and then venture into unknown territory for us. That'll be the Gary Junction Road, towards Alice Springs, Uluru, and then back home via Great Central Road. Well, the first order of the day is to swap out both front and rear tyres on the bike. I quite often get criticised for leaving home with dodgy tyres. That's not the case. I'm not going to take any risks. So generally I leave home with new or near new tyres, but these tyres don't last long on a big adventure bike. Big block knobby for the rear, you might get 5,000 kilometres out of it. And quite often my journeys are a lot longer than 5,000 kilometres. So no more criticism, please. I leave home on good rubber. And it's a good idea if you can. Leave the tyres in the sun for a couple of hours. It'll just warm up the rubber and make it a little bit easier to handle. Now the tyres I'm using on this trip, this is a relatively new tyre to the market. It's a TKC 70 Rocks Continental. Not as aggressive as a TKC 80, a big block knobby, but certainly more aggressive than the TKC 70. This trip I'm going on is 6,000 kilometres. I'm hoping this tyre will last the distance. I think it should. Having said that, there won't be much left of it by the time I get back. For the front, I'm a big fan of big block knobbies on the front, and in this case it's a TKC 80, and generally one front tyre will last about 2 rear tyres. So yeah, big block knobby for the front, and I don't know, what would you call that, a 70-30, 70% off-road, 30% on-road, I guess. New tyre to the market. I'll be curious to see how long it lasts. While I've got the back wheel off, I'm just going to replace the disc pads. I I got 100,000 kilometres out of these. If I get 100,000 kilometres out of the next set, I'll be happy. That's the back sorted out, now just the front. That's the tyre pressure monitor unit. This one's given up the ghost. I think it's just a flat battery, and I've tried to swap the battery out. That didn't work, so I'm just going to replace it with new. That's the front tyre done. I've decided not to replace the front pads. There's still quite a bit of meat on those, and generally if I go on a trip I might only use the brakes twice, once to stop at the end of the driveway when I'm leaving home, and once to stop at the end of the driveway when I get back. So yeah, they'll last me for a good while yet, I think. Right, it's a Saturday morning. A couple of days ago I swapped out the front tyre, the air pressure tyre monitor. Now the bike's computer hasn't recognised, because that's a transmitter, the bike's computer hasn't recognised it. So I'm just on my way to, I'm a member of the BMW Motorcycle Club of Western Australia, and these blokes once a month they have what they call a tuning day, where blokes can get together, and girls of course as well, and just fix some of the problems with their own bike. Having said that, it's a social occasion as well. So yeah, blokes can get together. There's a lot of expertise within the club. Some of these blokes have been around the block more than once, and the club itself owns a number of tools, and that's why I'm going there this morning. Ordinarily I'd have to go and see a dealer and have to pay, but the club has got a diagnostic tool that will be able to track the fault and actually rectify it. So I guess the point I'm trying to make is that look, no man is an island. It's important to start networking, and I've said that before in many videos. You're not on your own out there. Start or join a network, get involved. You can become as active or as passive as you like. There's a lot of blokes out there who are really prepared to share their knowledge and experience. So take the opportunity. Hello boys and girls.
It's going going to ask you, like, there's a couple of pubs.
You should weigh it all. And the tail lock.
Yamaha TT600?
Yeah. But riding the tyres flat like this.
Guy did that.
And just plug it into the bike.
What you buy something like that, you've got to buy it on your repertoire. What are you going to get? It's no fucking good. Yeah, I just jump on and go on.
What do you do then? Turn it on.
And then you get your phone. And normally you can have a cable going to your computer, and or you can just use your phone.
Yeah, I'll just make
Exactly the same. That's a police special. Yeah. Forget it. So anything to do with coppers?
Mate, yeah,
See you on the other side. Well, that's that problem sorted. And once again, it just goes to show the benefits of belonging to a club or a network, sharing expertise and knowledge to get the job done. Alright, I'm just on my way to see a mate, Chris. I've replaced both front and rear tyres. I'm just going to go to the trouble of having them balanced, and Chris has got all the gear to do that. I mean, it's not a complicated job, just got to remove both wheels, and he's got the gear to balance the wheels. And some would question whether it's worthwhile doing on an adventure bike, and I get that, but when tyres cost, $500 a set, I think there might be some merit in having them balanced. In particular, the front. The front tends to scallop out quite a bit, and if balancing them can prevent that and extend the tyre life by 10 or 15%, then I think it's worthwhile. So yeah, I'll take the trouble to get them balanced, and that should give me trouble-free motoring, I think, for the life of the tyre.
Nice.
Boom.
Not much in the front.
Although once again, I reckon it's the weight of those. No, maybe not in this case.
Not much in that, mate. Yeah.
Well, that's the last job I had to do on the bike before this trip. All I've got to do now is sort out my packing list, load the bike and head off. Alright, middle of the week, a Wednesday, just on the way to meet the boys. We'll have a light breakfast and
Bit of a chat about today. We have no destination in mind. We'll bush camp somewhere. No shortage of campsites. I'll be leading them for most of today, just to get us out of town, so to speak. We won't be taking too many major roads. We've taken a lot of the back roads, the farm roads. They're in good shape, wide, unsealed, but no traffic, or very little traffic. So yeah, I'll be leading initially, I think. This is JP's ride primarily. It was his idea, his conception. He'll take us to places that he wants to see and go, and that's okay, that's okay. There'll be 4 of us initially, me, 2 Chris's, and JP. One of the Chris's will be with us for a day or 2, and then he'll peel off. He's got a smaller bike, a BMW G310 GS, and it's not quite set up for outback travel. It'll be okay for the first couple of days. Has a pretty limited fuel range. Oh, this is it. This is where the adventure starts. 6,000 kilometres, 2 weeks, in some of the most remote, isolated, desolate country here in Australia. What could possibly go wrong?